On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo está? Oh wait, I have to do this in English, even though it's Cinco de Mayo day.
Gracias.
Yes, gracias.
Is Telemundo?
Telemundo. I got your Telemundo.
It's uno, dos, tres.
Yes.
Cuatro, cinco.
I speak very, very limited Espanol. So we want to say happy Cinco de Mayo day. And make sure you get your tequila on bright and early at 6:07 this morning.
Hey,
Get Up and Go show.
Cinco de Mayo Day is that? I was on May 5th. It just dawned on me.
Never changes.
When I landed on Cinco, I counted to 5. I don't know my Spanish as well as you two probably do.
I
but
don't
yeah.
know either.
Cinco,
No,
I
I don't
landed
know.
on finger number 5. And just as I did that, I looked down at my date and it says May 5.
It's Cinco de
Yeah.
Mayo day.
I don't know Spanish very well.
It
So.
happens every year on May the 5th, religiously. No matter what day of the week it is, it's May the 5th. Never changes. It's always going to be there, May the 5th.
That's good to know, Evan,
You
because
can always count on it.
you know, some people, they just really don't know that, you know, and maybe some people don't even know that Thanksgiving is it always on a Thursday too?
It's always on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always. It never changes. They will never move it to a Wednesday.
But Christmas Day fluctuates now, doesn't it?
Well, certain holidays fluctuate. Certain holidays don't fluctuate. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. Christmas Day could be on any of the 7 days of the week, just like Christmas Eve. St. Patrick's Day is always March 17th. That never changes. Valentine's Day is always February the 14th. Cinco de Mayo, always May the 5th. And what other days are always the same, Phil?
Flag Day.
Yeah, Flag Day.
Flag Day's Sunday, June 14th.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's
Memorial
there you go.
Day is always on a Sunday, I do believe. Just like Labor Day weekend, that just kind of fluctuates. Depends on the date each year, the way that comes up.
I think Labor Day is always on a Monday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
Labor Day is
they
always on a
say
Monday.
Labor Day Monday.
Yep, Labor Day's on a Monday.
And they want to change, supposedly they wanted to change Halloween to have Halloween on the last Saturday in October. So kids can go trick-or-treating, I guess, on a Saturday night or some sort of thing. And I hope they keep it to the 31st, though. I'm one of those that, you know, just wants it to remain like it's always been.
Arbor Day was April 24th.
Okay. There's some confusion too, because a lot of people, there's Memorial Day, and a lot of people, they go out and party on Memorial Day, and I kind of get offended by that, because Memorial Day is a day we pay tribute to those that gave their lives, as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So people go out and they get drunk and they drink and they party, and it's all about picnicking and this and that and the other.
Yeah, they tend to kind of forget what the Memorial Day is all about. Usually if I get a 3-day weekend, which I usually, I get a 2-day weekend because I work on Sunday. But yeah, I'm normally off on Memorial Day. But I try to take time to read a book or look into a story of a true happening of maybe events with any kind of war with our heroes, like in Revolutionary, Civil War, Vietnam,
Right.
1 and 2. I always try to look for a story and look at the people, that had been our heroes and are our heroes.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that gave their lives, and a lot of people they party a little too much because of that.
Yeah. It's everybody, has that bright shining light in their mind. When Memorial Day comes, it's parties and picnics and beer and, Natty Light and
Natty Light? What's a Natty Light?
well, those seltzers that I do tend to drink once in a while. They're natural light seltzers. I think they have the mango and they have the wild cherry flavor now. And
Yeah, they just came out with those not too long ago.
yeah, they're on the light side. They're not too bad, really.
Yeah. A good friend of mine down in West Palm Beach, she's a sergeant with the PBSO. And did you see the video about the large gator that they got a phone call? There was like 3 or 4 deputies, and they got a phone call about this large, humongous, ginormous gator. And the video is hilarious. And it's they made it into a TikTok video. It made News Channel 5. And it shows my friend, who's a sergeant, stumbling, trying to run away from the gator. The video is hilarious. You can see her in the background stumbling.
Just how big is this gator?
It's like I want to say it's probably
6 feet.
no. Keep going. It was huge.
What, really? 12?
Yeah, if you go on the News Channel 5 website, Bonnie, you'll find the story and you'll see the video.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like a 12-foot gator.
Massive gator lunges at Palm Beach County deputies.
Yeah, right. Open that video. Watch that video, Bonnie. It's going to play a little audio, so don't get, don't be alarmed.
Yeah, I think I've got my audio down for
Okay.
now.
So go ahead and play it,
All right.
and you'll see her in the background on the left.
And
You'll see her stumble.
is she like a little bitty officer?
Oh,
like a
no.
little bitty girl?
No. She's not no little bitty.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Joanne is she's every bit of what she is.
Oh, is this Joanne that I know?
Joanne Reed.
Yeah. Oh, I know Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne's a longtime friend of mine.
Oh,
I'm texting with her now, asking if it was all right that we talk about
Oh
it.
yeah, Joanne is. Oh yeah, she could take on that gator for sure.
Yeah.
I've known Joanne too for
She can
years.
wrestle it down, right?
She really could. She was on the TV show Cops too, I think, at one
Yes.
time. And
Yes.
you
Great
saw her
show.
coming out and handcuffing some rebels.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. How do we go from gators to rebels? That was okay.
Gator rebels that
Gator
are after
rebel.
human beings.
So did you see the video, Bonnie? Did you play it?
Yeah, I'm watching it. That looks
Right.
I'm
like
looking at it now.
Right.
Yeah.
You see Joanne in the background in the back
Yeah.
left. You can see her stumble, running away. There, these deputies are like, I think it's hilarious.
There she goes. Yep.
and that's a significantly large gator.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. that
Mammoth
thing's
gator.
huge. Good
Mammoth.
Lord.
Huge, ginormous, at least 12 feet.
Man, we were down in
Wow.
when I first came to Florida. We visited Shark Key, and that's right before you go into the Everglades, way
Yeah.
down south.
Uh-huh.
And we took a 18-mile bike ride where
Yeah.
these gators are just lounging out in the middle of the road, just sunbathing. So you ride your bikes like 9 miles out to a tower, and you turn around and you ride 9 miles back. These gators were everywhere. So we stopped on our bikes, and all of a sudden it's the first time I heard the sound of a gator.
Mm-hmm.
Heard this really loud and circling hiss that just encircled the entire swamp.
Right.
It's like,
Wow.
wow, where the heck is that coming from? It was, and then it was coming out of a gator's mouth that had just been like a few feet away from us.
You ever been to Gatorland up in Orlando?
Haven't.
Oh,
When I
man.
was a kid,
Cool.
I did.
Yeah. You have to go.
Yeah. How many? Like a lot of gators?
Oh,
there?
yeah. We're
Like,
talking
oh,
not 10, not 20, like hundreds.
wow.
They just remodeled it not too long ago, too, from
Yeah.
what I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Great
It's still
place.
there.
Great
Yeah.
place.
Another place I saw gators too was the now I'm trying to think of we have one here out by Home Depot in St. Lucie West. It's the big sporting goods store. Why can't I think of the name of it?
Dick's.
Oh,
Not
Dick's
No,
Sporting
not
goods?
Dick's.
not
No.
Dick's.
No.
A
No.
sporting goods store
Yeah.
in St. Lucie West.
But they have one. They have one.
They have gators?
They have one in Palm Bay where they do have gators. They have like
Huh?
a huge circling kind of pond, and they have wild pigs too, like wild.
What kind of sporting goods store are you
Yeah.
going to? That's what I want to know.
Oh, it's the well
What's
known.
it called?
It's the well known one, and
Girl, I want to make sure I stay away from that
Right.
one if it's got
Yeah, right?
gators.
Maybe why am I not not it's not Dick's, it's not Dunham's. It's Bass Pro Shops.
That's not in St. Lucie West.
There's a Bass Pro Shops in St. Lucie West.
It's off
Oh,
Becker Road in 95.
You're right. I got my location of Port St. Lucie confused. You're
and
right.
They don't have a gator there.
No, but on Bass Pro Shops up in Palm Bay, at that one they do.
Okay. Wow, you
So-
scared me for a minute.
I know. But
You're saying like this place has gators, and I'm like, wow.
yeah, if Palm Bay, if you take the 176 exit right by the Harley Davidson shop,
Okay, I know where that is.
there's a Bass Pro Shops back there.
And they have a gator there
They have a few of them, yes. They
Really?
have a few gators
Wow.
as you walk
inside the store.
outside right before you walk in. You like walk over a little bridge, and they have a like a river flowing for these gators that swim around. It's a pretty nice size. And then if you look to the left, there are they have wild pigs too that you can see.
Hey,
yeah.
Phil,
Yes, sir.
road trip.
Evan's like, I gotta see this
Road
now."
trip.
We're gonna go look at some gators.
I may take a ride when I get out of here today, just
Yeah.
to appease my curiosity what Bonnie is talking about, because I'm like, there's just no way
Yeah,
Bass Pro Shops has
in Palm City. You said
Palm Bay.
Palm Bay,
Palm Bay.
Palm Bay.
Yeah, it's like an hour
and we
north
just
of
lost
here.
our live feed.
Yeah, if you get on if you get on
No.
I-95, you can get there in like 1 hour or just like under an hour. And if some places are open at like 25% capacity, and that being outside.
Right?
It's
You know
probably-
what? She might be right. Apparently, some of these Bass Pro Shops have a tank with gators in them.
Really?
Yes, I'm looking at pictures right now on Google.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to see any gators in a tank though, Phil. I know that these ones are generally outside, and they're free to they have like a lot of space and fresh
Yeah.
water and that.
They got one. There's one that I see has a bridge going over the water with the gators underneath.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool.
And I think our Bass Pro Shops out in going toward Tradition, where Evan mentioned, I think that one has like a huge engaging aquarium.
Yeah,
in
they have
there.
a big aquarium out there
Yeah.
in Tradition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is cool. I'm gonna have to go there.
that's
Check it out.
That's
Road trip possible.
Road trip.
You and I
Yeah.
road trip.
Yeah, why not? Road trip. Why not?
Okay, all right.
We're gonna go look at some gators.
Yeah, we're gonna get some gators.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrestle that thing down to the ground, and I'm gonna turn it into luggage. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Sound like my uncle there.
Was that your
The-
was that your best Billy Bob imitation?
More like
Aquarium.
Yeah, they have a
Yeah.
big
the dumb
aquarium out
Southern
there in
guy.
Tradition. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
this is cool. I'm gonna have to go there.
That's
Check it out.
Trip.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know. The system is very spooky today.
And I hear
Oh,
that. and
okay.
It's like, wow.
It's like it's playing things that it shouldn't be playing.
Or
I don't
maybe-
know why.
Maybe Phil or I, maybe we're throwing our voices and we're not aware of it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was
Um,
a ventriloquist. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
don't know. Maybe you have voices in your head, or I have voices in my head. Or, Phil, do you have
Well, this
voices in
game-
your head?
Oh, all the time.
you? Do you answer your voices in your head?
The only reason why I talk to myself is because I'm the only one that knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, that was
if that makes any sense.
that's interesting.
Are you the smartest person that you know?
Exactly.
He may be the smartest person that he knows, but I don't know if he's the sharpest tack on the wall.
Oh,
But in my eyes, he's the apple in my eye. I will say that.
Aw, I love you too, Evan.
Yes, I love you too, Phil.
Yes.
News time right now. It's 6:20 on a Tuesday. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
good morning, Evan. And let's break down the coronavirus cases by county. In St. Lucie County, there are 260 now confirmed. There are 25 deaths. In Martin County, 215 confirmed cases. There are 6 deaths. And in Indian River County, there are 98 confirmed coronavirus cases. There are 8 deaths. Day 1 of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books.
We are now in phase 1 in the state of Florida, other than our 3 southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 1,399 after another 20 deaths were reported yesterday. The Department of Health says there are nearly 37,000 cases statewide. Well, it's a promising start of the week for some businesses on the Treasure Coast. Many are slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again.
Has everybody ordered? Yes. Yeah.
And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
We're on a good pace.
When other restaurants offer takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe, and that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you also notice less staff because under Phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website, and yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Finally, the city of Fort Pierce announced Monday that it will be offering free drive-through testing for 5 days. The city has created a partnership with Dynex Diagnostics, Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, the Florida Department of Health, Indian River State College, and other community partners to identify residents who are currently infected with COVID-19 or those who have been previously infected by the virus. The free testing will be offered by appointment only from May 11 through May 15 at Ilu Ellis Park. That's at 1211 Avenue M. The city said that during the 5 days, a total of 1,200 individuals will be tested for COVID-19 or the presence of antibodies. Residents interested in being tested must complete a pre-screening survey. Those without internet access can call 1-888-519-9192 and press 1 for testing. Then the call center will be open today through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And always call us here at WSTU if you need me to repeat that number at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. Legendary NFL coach Don Shula died yesterday. He was 90. There's no word on a cause of death. Don won an NFL. He went to the Super Bowl 6 times and won 2. Overall, Shula led the Dolphins to 5 Super Bowl appearances with 2. And our news time is 6:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
6:26 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, there's not an accident. It looks like road construction to the north of us. There's some road construction, Turnpike northbound in Fort Pierce at mile marker 157, and this is north of Orange Avenue, so the right lane up in that direction is blocked this morning. And Martin County, we don't have any accidents, no slowdowns. There's their latest look at traffic. And right now, we have, looks like 69 degrees in Stewart, 68 Port St. Lucie. Here's our weather at WPTV.
It is a mild to a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
6:29 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And of course, Phil is joining us today from Phil's Notebook on YouTube. And unfortunately, the band has just started to roll in the front door. Now, this is the second day in a row that they have been late. Second day in a row they've been late. And that's something I can't tolerate. I don't like people being late.
How do we know that they didn't get up at 2 or 3 in the morning to get a fresh start and maybe practice as a group before coming in?
I don't know.
And maybe that's why they're here late.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with the leader of the Shy Guys, and really sit
That's
them
Fredo.
down. Yeah, I got to have a talk with Fredo, and I got to sit them down and have a conversation with them, because I really hope that they came prepared for Cinco de Mayo. Or is it Mayo? Or Mio?
Mayo.
Is it Cinco de Mayo or Mayo? Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo. How do you say it?
Mayo.
How do you say it?
Cinco de Mayo.
You sure? Bonnie, how would you
Yes.
say it?
Yeah,
I'm a Mayo kind of guy.
having deja vu, and I went through the same sort of thing last year where I think I was saying it de Mayo, and then I was told it was Toad. I was told it was
Toad? You a toad?
Toad?
You a toad?
de Mayo.
Okay.
Yeah, I told that gator.
Okay. All right.
Mayo.
Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo.
All right. Well,
Think.
if you're listening to the program, could you call us and tell us how to properly say it? I'd love to get everybody's opinion. 772-220-9788. Is it Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo, or Cinco de Mayo?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right? Or Mio.
Yeah.
That's 4 different ways
There
it
you
can
go.
be said.
Yeah. And do they celebrate it in Mexico like we do? I'm not even sure if the folks down in Mexico even celebrate it in the same day or quite like we do here.
Mhm.
But it's really, really, really big here. And I like to go out, once in a while for the tequila shot on Cinco de Mayo and the the fuzzy navels.
Are you
and-
fuzzy navel?
Fuzzy navel.
What the heck?
What?
Are you looking down at my belly button? Is there lint down there or something?
you
like a
haven't heard of
rainforest.
a fuzzy navel?
No. What's a fuzzy navel?
It's the mixed drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't drink.
It's a fuzzy navel cocktail.
Okay.
With
What's in it?
delightful.
It does, and you're a poet and you don't even know it. You realize you just made a rhyme? Are you aware of that? You just made a rhyme.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You just made a rhyme. Now you're a rapper.
Yeah.
You made Bonnie the rapper. You made a rhyme. Yo, 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 what's up?
Rapper. Remember last week, rapper Eminem, he had like an uninvited house guest in his big mansion in Detroit.
He
Well, I
did?
don't, it's like a gated community where he's in.
Okay.
But somebody broke into his house, I guess, in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And Eminem's people didn't even go out to the living room. I think Eminem went out there and saw the guy face to face who wanted to meet Eminem.
The guy must have been Slim and Shady.
Oh!
Anyway, there's videos that are going viral, and the YouTube channel Never Be Funny. Oh, wow. I made it funny. Okay. That was a good one.
It is.
Was that a good one?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
thank you.
good.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That deserved a hey-o.
All right. All right. So the YouTube channel News Be Funny posted a 13-minute montage of April's best news bloopers, and as you'd expect, it dominated by reporters trying to deal with working from home. Now, some of the favorites included the weather guy who looks like he's not wearing pants because his bare leg is showing. Turned out later that the guy was wearing shorts. Then there's a reporter in her living room who doesn't know everyone at home can see her hair catch fire, a candle, and another one who spends 45 seconds trying to get her kids to leave her alone so she can go live, and even though she already is. Now, one reporter tries to do a report that includes her cat, but the cat won't cooperate, and the clip closes out with a BBC weather guy at home who does his sign off and then moves over to his drum set and starts playing along to the closing theme.
That's great.
Wow.
People like in the media getting all creative at
Yeah,
home.
right.
That's crazy. That's actually, I want to try to find that drummer that did that. Let me see
The
here.
funny thing about on the BBC News, they always talk like this and then end like this when they
Yeah.
talk. It's hilarious.
Hold on. Here's the
Finally gets here.
That's the forecast. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.
Okay, so now the guy goes over, and here he's on his drum set, and he's playing along, just jamming out, and he's really good,
That is good.
and he plays along to the closing theme. That's pretty darn good.
I like their theme too. Their closing theme
Yeah.
on their news segment.
I'm gonna have to steal that.
Yeah,
I might have to pay royalties for
I
that.
like it.
Yeah, right.
I think the favorite one that I saw was, we talked about it last week, Evan, where the weatherman in Tampa had his golden retriever dog
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
come sit on his lap, and then he was like putting his head in the guy's neck and giving him all that
Nuzzling.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog does that.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
does
so
that
does
all the
mine.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy in Tennessee did a video interwoven with different beer puns to explain what he's going through during quarantine. He lined up beer bottles and cans on a fence railing in his yard and moved along to each brand that fit what he was saying. Now, the way he started is a good example quote, with the coronavirus Guinness all sick. I only
once in a blue moon. I feel like I should get a blue ribbon for how well I'm holding up in these circumstances that have wrecked our lives like a tiny bomb. I do miss my friends, though. I feel like my best bud's light years away, but he's right across the street. Nick, great guy. I called him on Zoom yesterday. Nick, and how are the kids? But it's not the same. Without face-to-face interaction, we're not really alive. We're like ghosts floating down a river, not of gold, but of ailments and suffering. We were made for something more, to be part of a team. I miss playing hockey with my team at the Ice House, but they shut that down too. But while these pills are hard to swallow, we should take this opportunity to grow, to read a book, to become smarter, bud, wiser than we were before. But don't let this change you, whatever you do. I haven't let it change me. Well, that's not entirely true. With all of these beers, IPA, a lot more. Stay safe, America.
That was actually very good.
It's good. You know how he should have ended it though. He should have
What?
had a Blatz beer and said, "Now I'm going to Blatz off, my friends."
Hold on. Late reaction. Ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh! There you go. Blatz off.
You could use something with Schlitz too, but I don't think I want to go there.
I'm going to take a knee.
Yeah, I'm going to take a knee on the Schlitz.
I'm taking a knee.
Yeah, I'll take a knee on Schlitz. Well, you could tell me that one off air.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
Moonshine. We need some moonshine.
We'll keep it safe and just Blatz off.
Please. Yeah, please tell me that one off air. Blatz off. Okay.
Magic 8 Ball, help us.
All right, it's time to ask the major. The Magic 8 Ball question. What was that beer called again?
Blatz.
Okay. Is Bonnie going to Blatz off anytime soon?
Legitimate response from the Magic 8 Ball? Without a doubt, the Magic 8 Ball has spoken. I'm sending you the picture so you.
Yeah, but the question is when.
The question is, what's the Blatz off?
Oh.
She wants to Blatz off.
He did pretty. I think. What did he use with Budweiser? I liked how
My bud's wiser.
My
That's what
bud's
he said.
wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very clever. Very, very clever.
Oh my gosh.
You see that response? I just said the
I haven't looked yet because I'm texting somebody else who's a friend of mine that's a really award-winning saxophone player.
Oh, she's got to come in here.
Yeah.
Maybe she could play with the band.
Yes, definitely. Well, the band's not even assembled yet, for gosh sakes. Hey Fredo, you guys ready in there? No. Oh, wait. I thought I heard Fredo respond.
I did.
Hold on, let me try it again.
I think I did.
Fredo, you guys ready in there?
Yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready in a second.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right. Well, there's Fredo. Fredo has spoken. I have to ask the Magic 8 Ball a question. Do you think Fredo and the Shy Guys are going to be ready by 7:00 and have some appropriate music for Cinco de Mayo? Mayo, Muyo, whatever you want to call it.
Magic 8 Ball response is, it is certain.
Oh,
The Magic 8 Ball has spoken.
Okay, well, there you go.
heck yeah.
See if they're ready at 7:00.
We should get a bartender for Bonnie, to make margaritas and stuff like that,
Yeah. Anybody else listening, if you'd like to bring Bonnie a margarita this morning, bright and early, she'll gladly take one and drink it on the air.
Make it a non-alcoholic margarita seltzer.
Non-alcoholic
Yeah.
seltzer margarita.
We don't have to add any of that magic voodoo or anything like that.
Magic voodoo.
Did you ever have? You know what a voodoo is? It's a voodoo is a vodka and Mountain Dew.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Okay. Well, there you go.
You see?
That one. Bonnie, Bonnie's in a mood today.
Yeah,
man.
you're in rare form.
I know.
Wow.
This is awesome.
You're running temperature. Did they take your fever when you came in the door to make sure you were safe to come in here?
The funny thing about it is I'm not even running a fever today. I don't feel a fever.
I hope not.
And then, but
He has a fever for a margarita.
But usually
Yeah,
I
there you
do
go.
run off. I do run off the mouth when I'm getting one, or but if I was getting one, I couldn't even be here right now.
Now, here's a question, Bonnie. When you have some adult beverages, are you a talker or do you get quiet?
It depends, like if I get lost in the music.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We got to step back for a moment. We have to play a couple of commercials. You're listening to Evan and Bonnie on the Get Up and Go show on WSTU. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll take a short pause and we'll be back right after these words.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
6:45 on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for news. Let's head over to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by with this morning's headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And day one of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books. Governor.
We are now in phase one in the state of Florida, other than our three southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 1,399 after another 20 deaths were reported yesterday. The Department of Health says there are nearly 37,000 cases statewide. It's a promising start of the week for some businesses on the Treasure Coast. Many are slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again. Has everybody ordered? Yes. Yeah.
And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
Real good pace.
When other restaurants offered takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you'll also notice less staff because under phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website. And yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Sloppy applications for unemployment are one reason the state's computer system has been overwhelmed.
Sometimes people don't give us an email address, or perhaps we have a wrong phone number. With the volume of applications that we've received, we're going to have a few errors. And it's more than a few, it's thousands of errors where we've got to go back and do some cleanup.
Department of Management Services Secretary Jonathan Satter says they continue to work to clear up the backlog. An effort is underway to get to the bottom of a problem that has left thousands of jobless residents frustrated. Governor DeSantis announced yesterday he's calling for an investigation of the Connect reemployment system. Well, lastly, Publix is benefiting from pandemic-related shopping. The Lakeland-based supermarket chain is reporting a 16% increase in first quarter sales revenue compared to a year ago. More than 10% of its $11 billion in sales came from items people stocked up on for the coronavirus. And Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Marino is one of many mourning the loss of his legendary mentor. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Don Shula died yesterday at his South Florida home at the age of 90. Marino said yesterday the first time he met Shula in 1983, Shula made an immediate impact by showing he believed in Marino, who was just out of college. He credits Shula for making him a better player and person. News time is 6:49. Weather and traffic together are next.
$6:50 right now is the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Up north on the Turnpike in Fort Pierce, the right lane is blocked in that area right around mile marker 157 due to some road construction going on. That's north of Orange Avenue this morning. Other areas, St. Lucie County, Martin County, we don't have accidents, no slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. In Stewart, we have 69. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It is a mild to warm morning here on the Treasure Coast with a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Mornings are better with the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on WSTU.
6:55 right now, the Get Up and Go Show. And Phil and Bonnie, did you know that according to a recent survey, 60% of guys think their phone is the first thing people notice about them?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Huh.
No, I'm making that up. Of course.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I never thought about that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yep. It's really true. It's very
Wow.
true.
Is that why you always get the newest one when it comes out?
That's right.
Huh?
I have
There
a
you go.
complex. You know, when the 12 comes out, I'm going to the 12.
There you go.
Did you know that 30 cried when selling their home? It's kind of bittersweet.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would cry if we sold our home.
really.
Yeah, I've gotten quite attached to it
How long have you lived in it?
for the last 5 years
Now,
now.
you guys are homeowners, right?
Yes.
Okay.
5 years we have lived there. I would.
Okay. Did you know that 15% of women have broken up with a guy because they didn't like his mother? That's a very interesting stat.
Oh wow. What's the percentage on that?
15, 1 of 5.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, I
Wow.
guess you could believe that. Usually you hear of the ladies not getting along too well with the mother-in-laws. One might think it would be even higher.
A recent survey from GQ shows that when it comes to shopping, men really do not like shopping for furniture.
Do you find
Men
I
don't
can
really like
understand that.
shopping for furniture.
Is that true?
Which brings me to it's time to ask the Magic 8 Ball a question. Do men really like shopping for furniture?
Magic 8 Ball response is, my reply is no, but we tell the wives, yes, the Magic 8 Ball has spoken.
Well, there you go. The right answer. Magic 8 Ball knows what to say at the right time.
Exactly.
I like shopping for the furniture, but I don't like paying for the furniture.
Oh.
Those payments.
You have to pay for it if you shop
know.
for it, unfortunately. But if you go to a certain furniture place, they usually give you 0% for 5 years. So
Yes.
you have 5 years to pay it off on the bank's money. So that makes it a little easier.
I see some places, you can $10 a month. $10 a month you can get this for.
$10 down, $10 a month.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you guys know that 56% of us say we miss our coworkers when we go on vacation?
Huh. I don't know about that one.
Well,
No.
here's my thought on this.
Okay.
I talked to 2 coworkers the other day from the ballpark, and I kind of got a little teary-eyed because I
Aw.
miss seeing them.
Yeah.
I do. And it's like I've been on vacation since the middle of March, and here we are going on like almost 2 months of no baseball is there, and then I don't get to see them
Yeah.
for a couple of months.
And you work in such a happy place, Evan. The ballpark is a place where people are happy.
It is.
I see why, you get there and everybody's feeling good. So I can see how you would be missing them.
It's a very, very happy place. You know, it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like therapy. No, I'm
Right.
not crazy or insane, but it's just when I go to the ballpark, it's kind of like it's a therapy for me
Uh-huh.
because it's like my scapegoat. I enjoy going to the ballpark just because my love of baseball is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it. Phil, do you have like a happy place you like to go besides the bathroom?
That is my escape. You know what I actually like to do? I like to go on the back patio and just with
Okay.
the pool and the trees
Yeah.
and
It sounds strange though, but I mean, just talking about happy places, I'll go in my garage and sit on my gravity chair and I'll just like nod off. And with the garage door open, I'll just nod off in like 10, 15 winks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds
There you go.
peaceful.
Just to relax.
Like a peaceful time.
The sun is already over the top of my house. So it's on the back side, which is on the west side. I'm facing east. So I don't have to worry about the sun beating beating down on me.
Mhm.
We got to step back for a moment. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then hour number 2 of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Don't go anywhere.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
Now we're talking. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The band has come through. Oh, they're singing too. Wow, I have a bilingual band. Ya no puede caminar porque le falta tres patitas perendal. See, I know the words to this song. Wow.
That's good music. I like
Right?
it.
La Cucaracha is the name of the song.
Yeah, that's festive. Whenever I have that music on my car radio,
Yeah.
it's not a channel changer for me. I like to.
Hey, hold on one second.
And it
here.
doesn't even have to be Cinco de Mayo for me.
No.
I just like it.
Hold on, I want to yell to the other room. Hey, can you guys play that song again for me? Is it possible? Can you hear me over there?
Yeah, we'll play it for you. No problem.
Wow. I'm really digging this. They even have on their mariachi hats and their Cinco de Mayo sombreros, and they're all dressed up in tuxedos.
The song They Say Mucho is great too.
Yeah. What a great song. La cucaracha ya no puede caminar porque le falta tres patitas perendal. Yeah, that's the words to the song. See, I know that. I can sing along with it. See, I just did my own version of karaoke.
You did a good job too, Evan.
Thank you.
You do a very good job on that.
Thank you. I wonder if I can get a round of applause. Thank you.
Yay.
All right.
He did the karaoke.
Yeah, I
Bonnie,
did the
not us
karaoke
today.
this morning.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
glad that you covered it, Evan.
That was Cinco de Mayo karaoke.
That's great. It really gets us in the mood. It makes me want to go to like somewhere like Pueblo Viejo tonight. Now.
Pueblo Viejo.
Yeah. See what you did?
That's a Mexican
She's in
restaurant.
the mood, man. You're wanting an adult beverage today, aren't you,
Either-
Bonnie?
Yeah, she
Either-
wants that margarita really
Either
bad.
that
Yeah.
or Zapatas. Zapatas
Zapatas?
out in Port St. Lucie too.
I'll stick with La Granja.
Oh,
La Granja. I get my my couple of chicken breasts and yellow rice and plantains, and I'm all good to go. Time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And Bonnie, we'll start off with you.
just happy birthday to anybody celebrating today, including your pets if they're celebrating. Happy
Okay.
birthday to the pets.
All right. I have a pet skunk.
You do?
Yeah. Kind of stinks, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, right.
Kind of stinks owning a pet skunk.
Guess
But I
who's
do know
gonna
somebody else that's celebrating a
have
birthday,
a stinky birthday.
and we're going to call them right now. Let me get this number straight here. I hope they pick up the phone.
Yeah, so do I.
All right, let's see here. This is somebody that's near and dear to Phil. 10 to 1 says they don't pick up.
Wonder.
Yeah, right.
They better. I took the time to make this call, and
So-
we're getting their voicemail.
This person is a Taurus. right?
No. Well, yeah.
That means they're bullheaded.
Oh, wow. And hi, I'm looking for Charles.
Yeah, this is Charles. How you doing?
Hey, Charles. This is WSTU, the Get Up and Go show, calling you with your older brother, Phil, who sits in now and then as a guest co-host. And on behalf of your brother and myself and Bonnie, we want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You sound nothing like your older brother.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know if that's a compliment or what.
Love you too, Charles.
So, Charles, how old are you today?
Oh boy.
You don't know your age?
No, I have to think about it sometimes.
Okay.
I have to crawl back into my brain and.
Okay. Oh, you have
think about
that
it.
same issue as your older brother. You
Yeah.
can see through from ear to ear.
It's a trait.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's genetic. I'm not entirely
Okay.
sure.
Now, my question is, it took 7 rings for you to answer your phone.
Yes.
Why does it take that long to answer the phone?
Well, I was had just was getting ready for the day, so I was just coming out of the shower actually when I heard the phone ring. So,
Oh gosh.
That's. I hope you have your towel on.
well, no, I'm.
No,
I
don't
at least,
tell us that.
Well, I'm saying I have pants. At least have pants.
Okay. Okay.
Step one with anything, pants. That's
Yeah.
just you have to. Any plan, you have to start with pants.
Now, do you have a significant other? I don't mean to be nosy, but
No,
just you.
nobody significant and nobody other. So
Okay. You don't have a snowy part 2.
no.
Okay.
No, he doesn't have a snowy. No.
Okay. All right. So it's just Charles. Charles in charge.
Yeah, that never gets old.
Okay. All right. All right. So
Scott
you're
Baio reference.
So
Great.
you're 40
Yeah.
years old today. So you've hit a
Yeah.
milestone. You're 40. So that means you were born in 1980.
Yep,
That-
absolutely.
That didn't take much to figure out.
Wow, you're smart, Evan.
Yeah, I am. All
You grew up with all
right.
the-
So what are you doing
all
for
the-
your your birthday today?
Oh well, typically I would go. Because it's not only my birthday, it's also my mother's birthday.
Oh.
So
No, wait a minute.
Uh,
It's your mother's birthday, as in you
Yes.
and Phil.
yes, that's
So
right.
the
Yeah.
proper English would be it's our mother's birthday.
Well, I'm just speaking to you. I mean,
Okay.
it's not your mom. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. I'm being schooled here by a 40-year-old.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah.
Okay. Is this who helps you with the top 10 list?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. No wonder
Sometimes
why.
he does. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
put it this way: the good ones are mine.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Well, what are you doing today for your birthday, though, Charles?
Well, typically I would, my mom and I, we would go out to eat and everything. But considering that, human malware is out and about, we can't really do that. So just essentially going out and grabbing food and bringing it back. And
Did he just say malware is out and
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Malware,
Yeah, that's what he did.
You
Yeah.
call the virus malware.
Yes.
human malware. Yeah, it's not my invention. There's a podcast that I listen to. Sometimes they call it that. So
Okay. So now we have a new term for the coronavirus. It's called human malware.
Malware.
Like underwear,
Human
but
malware.
malware.
Yeah.
no malware, like what you get on your computer.
Yeah, malware. Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
malware is.
Well, we're getting
Yeah.
sick of the old terms,
I
so
have a
throw in a new one.
I have a
Yeah.
program called Malware Bytes that takes care of things like that.
Ah,
I'm sure you're familiar with
Yeah.
that.
oh yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, listen, hey, enjoy your birthday, Charles.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Say good night, Charles.
Okay. Good night, Charles.
Thank you. All right, there we go.
Well, Phil, we should be
The
saying
apple does not fall far from the tree.
we should be saying happy birthday to Phil's mom too today. Then,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, can we call your mom on the air? Would she be awake?
You could just call Charles back and,
Oh.
and tell him to talk to mom.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do a happy belated birthday. Oh boy. All right. Hannah Davis is 30 years old today. That's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Adele, 32 years old today. Hits of Rolling in the Deep, Hello, and Skyfall. You know who Adele is, right, Bonnie?
oh, of course,
Right?
What an amazing.
Can you imitate her doing Hello?
No,
You can't?
I'm not even. I would never ruin that song for anybody.
Okay.
Her best song is Skyfall, though.
Is
for
it?
the Skyfall James Bond movie?
Okay.
I think her best one is Fire. What it was? It Fire Through the Rain.
Okay. Hey, you know what I'm thinking about doing, Phil, is putting this phone number out here on the radio of Charles and telling
Yeah.
everybody to call and wish him a happy birthday.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
It could be like
That'd be awesome,
like
but
a
don't do
hookup.
that.
All right. Yeah, that would be a hookup.
A hookup,
We'll,
you could,
We'll take care of
like-
him real quick. Henry Cavill is 37 years old today. That's Superman in Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. Daniel Fishel is 39 years old. That's Topanga from Boy Meets World. Almost kind of like your bonus child.
Topanga.
Topanga.
Is it? Yep. Topanga.
Okay. Vincent Kartheiser is 41. That's Pete Campbell on Mad Men. Santiago Cabrera is 42. That's Isaac Mendez on The Heroes. Tina Yothers, 47. That's the true star of Family Ties. And this one, okay, I know Bonnie knows this guy's birthday. Okay, Brian Williams, 61 years old today, former NBC nightly news anchor, current host of the 11th Hour on MSNBC.
He's 61.
He's 61.
Wow.
Brian Williams is 61, and he, I don't know if he's still doing centerfolds anymore or not. I'm not sure. I'd ask Bonnie that question.
Yeah, right.
I'm,
You know.
I'm not really sure.
Kurt Loder is 75. That's the MTV news legend. Wow. I remember Kurt Loder when I used to watch MTV when it first came out.
Kurt Loder. Why don't I remember him? I got to look him up.
Come
now.
on, Bonnie. Kurt Loder from MTV. That's with Martha Quinn. That's
Yeah.
from the Martha Quinn days.
He was one of the original VJs?
VJ.
Yeah, he was
then?
one of the original VJs.
Why don't I remember Alan Hunter,
Yeah.
Martha Quinn.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, the lady with the really raspy, I still
Yeah,
hear her
that's
on
Blackwood or something like
Nina,
that.
Nina Blackwood.
Nina Blackwood.
That's Marcel's fifth cousin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Nina Blackwood.
Oh,
You know,
I remember
yeah.
Nina Blackwood.
I
yeah.
like her.
You know those VJs are now on XM Radio, the 80s channel.
Yes,
Yes,
that's where I've been
they
hearing
are.
her.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Very
Martha
good.
Quinn was my favorite though. She was
She was a
I like
cutie
Martha Quinn.
patootie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still looks good too.
Lance Palin is 77. That's Monty Python superstar. Celebrating birthdays up in the heavens is Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette celebrating a birthday up in the heavens. That's Stand By Your Man. Karl Marx, born in the 1800s, author of the Communist Manifesto. And do we know what today is, Bonnie?
Cinco de Mayo.
No, besides Cinco de Mayo. What else is today?
Yesterday was May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
And I don't know what else today could
We've
be.
talked about it almost every single day. It's Teacher Appreciation Day.
Teacher Appreciation Day.
Teacher
Yes.
Appreciation Day.
How could I forget about the teachers?
Yes, yes.
Ugh.
So if I were you and you're an adult listening to the program and you have a child that is in the school system doing distance learning, make up a sign, have your child hold it up. And if you have your teacher's cell phone number or email address, email or text them that picture. Show a little love for the teachers.
Yeah, it's not like you can show up physically in the classroom now and bring your teacher an apple right now. But there are virtual ways
I
to
think the
appreciate.
days of bringing an apple have long gone by. I don't think anybody brings an apple to a
They should
teacher
bring the
anymore.
one with the worm in it.
Oh, that's terrible. Now, my wife, when she comes home from school on Teacher Appreciation Day each year,
Yeah.
it's like jackpot.
Oh,
She
yeah.
comes
Oh,
home
really?
with all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they really take care of her. I mean, we're talking we can go out and eat for a week.
That's pretty cool. Does she get all these like gift certificates
Yeah.
to restaurants and
Yeah.
stuff?
The kids love my wife in school.
Neat.
They do. That she comes home with, I'm telling you, it's like she hit the lottery for
Yeah.
teachers.
They must
Nice.
really like her then.
Yeah, they do. She's
Yeah.
she's very
Lot-
well liked. and-
Lots of gift cards.
yeah, lots of gift cards. Even some cash sometimes.
Hmm.
Lots of little trinkets, baths, soaps, lotions, just all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's incredible.
So
That's
show some
great.
Wow.
appreciation, show
Yeah.
some love to your teachers out there. 7:21 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Day one of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books.
We are now in phase one in the state of Florida, other than our three southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 1,399 after another 20 deaths were reported yesterday. It's a promising start of the week for some businesses on the Treasure Coast. Many are slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again. Has everybody ordered? Yes.
And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
We're on good pace.
When other restaurants offered takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you also notice less staff because under Phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website. And yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
St. Lucie County Community Services is offering COVID-19 emergency assistance for the cost of housing. The help is available to those in unincorporated St. Lucie County who meet certain income requirements. Financial assistance is being offered for rent and mortgage payments. To find out more on mortgage and rental assistance, log on to stluciecounty.gov or call the public information line at 772-460-HELP. It's open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Finally, sloppy applications for unemployment are one reason the suitor system has been overwhelmed.
Sometimes people don't give us an email address, or perhaps we have a wrong phone number. With the volume of applications that we've received, we're going to have a few errors. And it's more than a few, it's thousands of errors where we've got to go back and do some cleanup.
Department of Management Services Secretary Jonathan Satter says they continue to work to clear up the backlog. An effort is underway to get to the bottom of a problem that has left thousands of jobless residents frustrated. Governor DeSantis announced yesterday he's calling for an investigation of the Connect reemployment system. The NFL is moving its 5 games scheduled for London and Mexico City this season back to U.S. stadiums because of the coronavirus pandemic. All 5 regular season games will now be played at the stadiums of the host teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars had been scheduled for 2 home games in consecutive weeks at Wembley Stadium in London. 2 games were also planned for Tottenham's new facility with the Atlanta Falcons and Miami Dolphins as hosts. The Arizona Cardinals were set to be the home team for a game at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. News time 7:26. Weather and traffic together are next.
7:27 the time right now, and they get it weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Rivers. Bonnie?
Well, we don't have any accidents to report right now for Martin County and St. Lucie County. And no accidents, no slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. It's a mild 70 this morning in Stuart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It is a mild to warm morning here on the Treasure Coast with a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450 station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$7:30 right now, the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's Cinco de Mayo, and the band played on, and they have learned a new genre. I'm so impressed.
Very impressed, and it makes me want to eat some tacos, like right about now.
Well, you're going to eat tacos this early. I'm just going to eat scrambled eggs.
You get a breakfast burrito.
Well, yeah, you can get a breakfast burrito. That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work with
And-
some eggs and sausage.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
can put
man.
the spicy hot sauce on all of that.
I'll be rolling out the Rolaids on that one.
You don't do spicy?
No,
Evan?
I don't do spicy. Not a spicy
okay.
kind of guy. Not a spicy kind of guy.
We
So-
did the
Ooh.
shake and bake, the buffalo flavor last night on the chicken.
Oh, did you? How was that?
Oh, it was very good.
Was it?
Very good. Yeah, it wasn't overly spicy. It was just enough bite for, to get that buffalo flavor out of it,
All right.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Sounds good.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Well, once again, I wasted away an hour of my day last night scouring the internet for stupid news. And boy, did I come up with some stupid stuff.
Well,
Nice.
it's not a waste when you bring us the good, stupid stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go to Fort Collins, where an engineer has created a device called the Social Stick, which which aims, yes, a social stick,
All right, here we go.
which aims to help people practice social distancing. A 6-foot instrument helps people know they are staying 6 feet away from each other. R.T. Custer is the inventor. He says he recently came up with the idea after a conversation with his friends. Maybe this is just a funny gift for a friend, says Custer, but it's cool and practical. The concept is gaining attention, Custer says. He's in conversations with retail stores and government entities. A social stick.
Yes.
You know what? It might work for him.
I've got something to say to him about that. I've got your social stick right over here, pal.
Hey-o.
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 Yeah. Social stick.
You can get it at Walmart next week.
Yes, it'll be on shelves.
You know,
On Blue Light Special at Kmart.
it might be a sensation, and then you're going to say, why didn't I think of it?
Maybe I'll call Walmart right now, live on the air, and ask them if they carry any social sticks. Or call our friends at the fire station.
Yeah.
Ask them if they have any social sticks around.
They're probably going to think it's deodorant. You know,
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a good one.
deodorant
Yeah.
has
Social stick.
the stick.
Keeping your distance away.
I'm going to
Social
get one
stick.
for my wife for Mother's Day. Put a little bow on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's we got to start thinking of those Mother's Day gifts now, don't we?
I've given up on the live stream thing because this is like the third time I've had to restart the feed. For some reason, it just keeps getting knocked off. I don't know why. So
Mighty strange.
yeah,
Mighty strange.
I don't have time to waste around with that. I have
Is that
better
the
things to
Facebook
do.
feed or the
yeah, the
YouTube
Facebook feed. The YouTube feed's still going. That's fine.
Okay.
Don't know why the Facebook feed. Facebook's being a little quirky these days. Don't know why. But anyway, a couple in Sweden is opening up a very unique restaurant with seating for only one person and without servers or a building. The open air restaurant, which is actually just a table and a single chair set up in the meadow, is reportedly scheduled to open up on May the 10th and will accommodate one customer per day. There are no servers to take your order or deliver your food. Instead, Linda Carrison and former chef Rasmus Persson, the minds behind the Board for N, literally table for one concept, will send the food to the patron via a pulley system with a basket attached. According to the website for the restaurant, the couple will load the food into the basket from the building's kitchen window and then send it forward to the guest in the middle of the field.
Is there a throne for that guest to sit on too? So
Well, there's a table and a chair.
you can feel like a king or a queen.
It's a table and one single chair.
Yeah.
One chair.
Too extreme.
It is.
Hey,
It makes me feel alone all of a sudden.
alone.
It does.
That reminds me of the song by Gilbert O'Sullivan. Phil, you know the name of it, right?
No, not off the top of my head. No.
Alone Again, Naturally.
Oh, naturally. Yes.
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 Alone Again, Naturally.
That's a really sad song.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to the
Yes.
lyrics, it's very, very sad.
Bonnie's making this face
It
like
makes-
she just tasted a sour lime in her
Yeah,
mouth.
But when I hear that song, it makes me, it makes me want to cry.
Or I think I'm alone now.
Well, that's an
two-
upbeat song. So are you telling me that if I get Gilbert O'Sullivan out right now and play it, you're going to cry on the radio?
Well, I'm really crying because I think that was a one-hit wonder, and Gilbert should have came up with more. That's a shame.
Wow. Okay. That's a shame. That could be his next hit. That's a
Yep.
shame.
That's
There is a
it.
song called Shame, Shame, Shame.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Is there?
There is.
I
You've
don't
never
know.
heard of that?
I don't think I have.
Hold on. Give me a minute.
I've heard of Chain, Chain, Chain.
No, Shame,
Of
Shame,
course.
Shame.
That's Aretha Franklin there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I can't believe you guys have never heard of Shame, Shame, Shame.
No, I've heard Shame, Shame, Shame.
Bonnie hasn't.
Shame on the Moon by Bob Seger, but not the
Oh.
Shame, Shame, Shame.
The artist was Shirley and Company.
Yes.
Okay. That was the artist. And here's the song. This is the song. It was very popular. Listen a little bit.
I want you to feel it too.
Yeah, what you feeling
Yeah.
too? Yeah.
So just listen to me, baby. Can't stop me now. Hear what I say.
So that's
My feet want to move, so get out of my way.
so that was the song.
I like it. I kind of like it. It has that nice 70s feel. You know?
And it literally has that 70s feel.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
At least you're not playing Disco Duck.
Oh, I could get that one out too. So don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. 34-year-old David Pangallo of Jefferson County, Colorado, needed to deposit some cash last Friday at the bank. So he went to the bank's drive-through window where they still use those air-powered tubes. You know what I'm talking about, Bonnie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put the tube in.
Using a lot of those lately. That's all you
Right.
can do.
The technical term, it's called a pneumatic tube. But when the teller opened the container, they didn't just find money. They found drugs.
Oh.
It turned out David put the wrong envelope
Oh my.
in the tube and sent a bunch of cocaine to the teller. The bank teller called the cops.
Wow.
They showed up, searched the guy's car, and found more drugs.
Wow.
He was arrested and released on bail. It's not clear what the charges that he's facing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm surprised there isn't like more of that now, people sending through the wrong thing, because it's like I said, that's all you can do, and they're using that system so much now.
Note to self.
Hold on.
Note to self.
Note to self.
Don't send drugs through tube at bank.
Don't send drugs through tube and bank. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
A Spanish news anchor was accused of cheating on his TV star girlfriend when viewers spotted a semi-naked woman behind him while he was filming a live segment.
Oh, gee.
Alfonso Merlos, 41 years old, was hosting a news report from his home amid the coronavirus lockdown when the scantily clad girl walked into the background of the shot. Eagle-eyed fans pointed out the woman was not his partner, Marta Lopez, a former star of the Big Brother reality show, sparking a media firestorm earlier that week.
Martha Lopez, you said is her name?
Yeah, Martha Lopez. Marta.
all right.
Marta Lopez.
Marta
Lopez, former
Right.
star of Big Brother. Very
Checking her-
interesting.
there she is. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm checking her out here to see if. Oh yeah. Why would you want to cheat on this? Good Lord,
Yeah.
she's very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go up the road to the happiest place on earth, Disney World, where a Florida man is facing trespassing charges after security found him camping on Walt Disney World's Discovery Island.
That's the abandoned island that they have there
Yes.
that had a water park and animals and everything else. Yeah.
Richard McGuire, 42, was spotted on the Disney-owned property, which is currently closed to the public. It's been closed for some time. Orange County deputies searched for McGuire on foot, by helicopter, and by boat before finally making contact with him. When deputies told McGuire they had been using a loudspeaker to address him, he said he didn't hear them because he was sleeping inside one of the buildings on the island, which referred to as a tropical paradise by him. According to the arrest report, McGuire told deputies he was not aware that the property was off limits and that he had been out camping since Monday or Tuesday and planned to stay for about a week.
He wanted to become Sleeping Beauty.
My question is, how did he get there?
Yeah. The only way to get there is by boat.
Right? So what did
Yeah.
he swim?
Yeah. Oh, I think he did. Yeah.
Had to swim.
But the thing is, there's all these urban explorers that try to go out there and get video of it.
Yeah.
Because there's all these abandoned buildings out there, water slides and everything else, and they get caught. So how did he get out there for about a week? That's my question.
I don't know.
Hey, you know what? The more power to him, though. He wanted maybe like to be at the happiest place on earth.
Possibly. Let's go to Nolens, where a hairdresser was recently arrested the other morning and accused of using his customers' hair to create voodoo dolls and cast curses upon them. According to the New Orleans Police Department, 29-year-old Enoch Azaka collected the hair he cut from his customers at the Old City Barbershop and used it in black magic rituals.
That's very creepy.
Interesting. Makes you not want to go to the barber anymore.
I know.
Well, they don't have to worry about you.
Oh, that's true. Appreciate that. Next subject.
Phil.
Yeah.
So I had to go for the joke.
That's okay. You can go all you want.
I say it with peace and love.
Thank
Peace
you.
and love.
Yes, and happiness. Who used to say those three words? Peace, love, and happiness. Wasn't that Skipper Chuck?
I think. Skipper.
Right?
Or time.
Skipper Chuck reference. Oh Lord.
Time, love, and
Yeah, I
tenderness
think you're
was
right.
Yeah, Skipper
Michael
Chuck.
Bolton.
Yeah, Skipper Chuck used to say that. Peace, love, and
Well,
happiness.
peace and love. It came from Ringo Starr recently.
Yeah.
He put out a video saying he wasn't going to sign anything anymore. He goes, "I say it with peace and love, peace," and he kept on saying it over and over again.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Massachusetts, where they parked the car in the Harvard yard. A man from Massachusetts is suing Golden Corral for $2 million for false advertising after being literally thrown out of one of the chain's restaurants by the employees last Thursday. Okay, now you're asking why he's suing? Well, according to witness, the 51-year-old man who lives on welfare was expelled from the restaurant after he spent more than 7 hours on site ingesting a quantity of food which was estimated between 50 to 70 pounds. 50 to 70 pounds.
How can you eat that much?
Despite the fact that the restaurant advertised the buffet as all you can eat, the manager of the establishment seems to have lost patience at some point, telling him that his meal would be free, but asking him to leave.
Well, they should put a discretionary claimer, like a sign, then if you walk in saying, well, we have a limit. You know, this is all you can eat.
A buffet is all you can eat.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if it's all you can eat, there's no limit.
There
you
isn't.
can eat.
That's why they should have had a sign up first saying maybe there could be a possibility of a limit if you're
So
going to hang out.
what are they going to weigh the food every time somebody goes up there, and then
Yeah, right?
gets marked down on a little card on their table, and when you reach that poundage limit, you just can't eat no more?
Maybe some patrons were upset because they came in and there was no meatloaf left. I would be
mean-
very upset if they didn't have meatloaf when I arrived.
Yeah, well, that guy's meat was loafing, that's for sure. What's the guy that eats all the hot dogs on Joey Chestnut?
Yeah.
Could you imagine Joey Chestnut going in Golden Corral,
And just inhaling some hot dogs. yeah.
inhaling like hot dog after hot dog?
Yeah.
What are they going to throw Joey Chestnut out?
They might not
Yeah,
even
right?
let him in.
You pay your
If you're-
$13, you expect to eat all the food you can humanly possibly consume, and after that's all done, then you're told you have to leave because
we
of
need to do an experiment now. After everything opens back up, we need to go to Golden Corral and see how much we can eat and get away with.
hmm
oh,
And actually, the way they make the food, they make it, so rich, and it's so rich that you can only eat so much of it anyway.
it's
Rich,
rich.
Yeah.
very rich. Yeah.
How
like-
much does it cost if it's rich?
I mean,
Richie Rich.
the
I might not be
quality.
able to afford it.
We always pay a little extra.
We need to ask the Magic 8 Ball if you can afford it.
Magic 8 Ball. Am I going to be able to afford Golden Corral?
With coupons, most likely. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken.
Well, there you go. You have your answer from the Magic 8 Ball.
There you go.
7:46 right now. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And day one of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books.
We are now in phase one in the state of Florida, other than our three southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 1,399 after another 20 deaths were reported yesterday. The Department of Health says there are nearly 37,000 cases statewide. It's been a promising start of the week for some businesses on the Treasure Coast. Many are slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again.
Has everybody ordered?
Yes. And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
Real good pace.
When other restaurants offered takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you'll also notice less staff because under Phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website. And yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Lastly, Publix is benefiting from pandemic-related shopping. The Lakeland-based supermarket chain is reporting a 16% increase in first quarter sales revenue compared to a year ago. More than 10% of its $11 billion in sales came from items people stocked up on for the coronavirus. Legendary NFL coach Don Shula died yesterday. He was 90. There's no word on a cause of death. Don won an NFL record 347 games, including playoff games. He went to the Super Bowl 6 times and won 2. Overall, Shula led the Dolphins to 5 Super Bowl appearances, winning 2 of them. News time is 7:49. Weather and traffic together are next.
$7:51 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
St. Lucie County and Martin County, both counties expect a nice ride this morning. The roads are clear right here at the moment. There's your latest look at traffic. Good-looking sunshine this morning and 70 in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It is a mild to warm morning here on the Treasure Coast with a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Mornings are better with the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on WSTU.
7:56 right now, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie, and it's time for something we only do once a year, and this is my first year doing it, and we're going to do it every single year, God willing, as long as I'm here year after year after year after year. It's time for the Cinco de Mayo quiz. Okay, so there's a possible amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points you can get in this quiz. We'll start off with Phil. Phil, if you get the answer right, you get control and you get to go on to the next question. If not, if you don't get the answer right, it goes over to Bonnie and she can take control. So question number 1, Phil. Cinco de Mayo commemorates Mexico's defeat of an army from A, Spain, B, Texas, C, France, or D, England.
A, Spain.
A, Spain? Incorrect. Bonnie, which one do you think it is?
I think it's Texas.
You think it's Texas? Wrong.
Wow.
It's France.
Wow.
France. All right. Control is still in Phil's hands. The victory celebrated on Cinco de Mayo took place in 1862. How long was it before the enemy was actually ousted from Mexico? Is it A, 5 years, B, 10, C, 6 months, or D, 15 years?
6 months.
6 months. Incorrect. Bonnie?
Go with D, 15 years.
Incorrect. The answer is A, 5 years.
Holy man.
Next question. The whole entire thing started over. A, gold, B, money, C, religious identity, or D, agricultural land. Phil?
Land.
Land? Incorrect. Bonnie?
Gold.
Incorrect. It's money.
We are really bad.
Okay, next one. Cinco de Mayo is celebrated primarily in A, the U.S., B, the Mexican state of Pueblo, or C, Mexico City, or D, both A and B. Phil?
Both A and B.
Correct. You
Yay,
got
I got
point.
one right.
Finally.
You deserve
Yay.
You deserve a taco treat.
Okay.
Yes.
Finally, last question. Okay, here we go. Actually, second to last question. The Mexican figure most closely associated with Cinco de Mayo is A, General Antonio Lopez, B, General Ignacio Zaragoza, C, Miguel Hidalgo y Castilla, or D, Paulino Rubio.
I can't say half those names. I'm going to go D, C.
C? Incorrect. Bonnie?
What were the others? No.
A, B, C, or D?
I will go with A.
A. Incorrect. It was B. Lastly, one group of Mexicans sided with the French. They were A, conservative landholders, B, peasants, C, Zapotec Indians, or D, both B and C. Which one, Phil?
D.
D? Incorrect. Bonnie?
Both A and C. They
both,
were both.
The choices were both B and C, not A and C.
B and C then.
Incorrect. It was A, conservative landholders. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Stick around. The news is coming up next, and then Sheriff Willie Snyder is going to be here talking about what's going on in Martin County. Don't go anywhere.
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 right now, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie, and every single Tuesday at this time, we always speak to the Sheriff of Martin County. Sheriff Willie Snyder joins us on our line to give us an update, and this is kind of a major update because phase one of the opening just happened yesterday, and I want to speak to the Sheriff about what happened, how it went, what's going on the beaches. There's so much to cover. First and foremost, good morning, Sheriff Snyder. Welcome into the broadcast.
Hey, good morning, Evan. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Sheriff Snyder.
First and foremost, I'll ask you this again. I ask it to you off air, and I'll ask it to you on air. How are you and your personal family doing, and how is the extended family doing, the jail system and everything with COVID-19?
Well, it's kind of you to ask. Yes, my personal family is in good shape, and my other family, the sheriff's office, we've been blessed. So far, we have no reported cases in the sheriff's office of COVID, and that includes our jail personnel who face probably one of the highest risks, and then our jail population has been free of the virus. So we continue, as you alluded to, as the early phase of reopening begins. We're trying to get back as much to normal operations as we can, and be cautious. We'll be opening our lobby next week, and we'll still ask people to wear masks. We'll watch that 6-foot rule, and we'll continue to try to serve people as best we can under the circumstances.
I like the fact that you're going to also partake in phase one as well, that you're going to open your lobby area, but with caution, like you said, mask wearing. Are you going to make it mandatory that anybody that comes into the lobby must have a face mask on?
I think so. We're in discussions now. Of course, that building is owned by the Board of County Commissioners, and we share it with our friends in the fire services.
Okay.
And so we're going to work with all the parties. I think it's a reasonable request based on what's going on
I
now.
would agree.
And we have extra masks. If people come and don't have them, we have adequate amount of the surgical masks, which are not the N95s,
right?
Top of the line, but they're perfectly adequate to keep someone from spreading it.
Okay, and those are the blue surgical masks that go loop around the ear, correct?
Yeah, we have blue, and if you really are, if it clashes with what you're wearing, we have white ones. We have white also.
I mean, what the heck? Why not just design them? Have somebody out there with a bunch of Crayola crayons, and we can draw whatever you want on your mask and personalize it, right?
There you go.
Let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a big day. It was a big step for not only Martin County, but a big step for the state of Florida, except for Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Talk to me a little bit about what went on yesterday, first and foremost, with the opening up to the public.
Well, what was so remarkable about yesterday was it was unremarkable. And we opened the beaches, which, of course, it had the greatest potential for bottlenecks, traffic, people disregarding social distancing. In the main, it was uneventful. I think we had one lost child, which we found the parents.
Okay.
We had no parking issues, so there was adequate parking, and our ATVs were out in force, driving up and down the beaches, just gently trying to keep people spaced adequately. We found no pushback. So
love it.
Anytime we asked people to spread out just a bit, they did, and the day ended peacefully.
I love it. Uneventful. It was an eventful day, but an uneventful day for law enforcement, which is a good thing on the beaches. Now, are you finding that people are coming up from the south in any way? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yes, no, they actually, my thoughts are irrelevant. They are, in fact, coming. Matter of fact, T.C. Palm today, Will Greenlee's article mentions he spoke with a woman who was up from Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
I think as the word gets out, down towards the south. Maybe not all the way into Miami-Dade, but certainly North Broward. Palm Beach County is in striking distance, and there's a subset of people in our community that are just beach worshipers. They love the beach, they love the sand, the ocean.
Yeah, there's somebody sitting right next to me that is a beach worshiper right here. Bonnie is.
Well, being yesterday was Monday, you probably didn't have a whole lot of people out there, but I have a funny feeling this coming weekend our beachgoers and probably people coming from down south on this weekend, I bet that's going to be a busy one for you fellas.
Well, that's a good segue. We went from a soft, quiet opening on Monday, and I think it will culminate in Saturday, certainly by Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And going into Saturday and Sunday, it'll be a melee over there.
Sunday is going to be nuts because it's going to be Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll have our big command post out. We'll have all our ATVs out.
Okay.
We'll do overflights with the helicopter. COVID-19 and exposure is a big concern. But when I have that many people, I have a lot of public safety concerns. People will drink too much. Children will get lost.
Right.
People will get in trouble in the water. So, although everybody's concerned about that virus, I have a lot of other public safety concerns. Not to mention, A1A parking will be difficult to keep orderly. People will illegally park. There's not enough of us to keep that from happening, and it'll be a busy day.
Sheriff, I want to stress to our listening audience, and if you could please help me out a little bit, what is and what is not permitted to happen if you decide to go to the beach, so people do know?
Our beaches are open without restriction, unlike St. Lucie County, which, unless they made some changes, they had some pretty strict restrictions. You couldn't stop, you couldn't have a towel, couldn't bring an umbrella. We have no restrictions like that, but we do have still the emergency order in place, which says that people should maintain a distance of 6 feet and that no groups over 10. Now, in a beach situation, I'm going to suspect by Saturday that will be nearly impossible to enforce.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And especially if the weather is even really good as well, that's going to cause more people to come out in droves as well to the beach.
Yeah, it will, and the water's beautiful. I mean, I looked at the pictures today on TC Palm, and I'm not a beach person. But
Neither am I.
Yeah, it looked pretty enticing.
Sheriff, let's switch gears a little bit and move from the sand and the water and the beauty to why we all moved to Florida to the downtown area and the restaurants. Let's talk a little bit about those openings that happened yesterday and what were your finds as far as all your deputies that were out and about yesterday.
We did not have significant problems. We have made a decision and we'll continue doing it. Any complaints we get where the restaurants have been restricted by the phase-in to a certain percentage of patrons, if there's violations, we're referring those to DBPR, Department of Business and Professional Regulations, and we'll let them do the enforcement. And so really they're same thing as the beaches. I think if the restaurants will just follow the guidelines, we can all get through this. I get that a percentage of their business is not enough. They need to be 100% open, but at least this begins the process.
Sheriff, were you out and about by any chance yesterday yourself in downtown Stuart? Or anywhere as a matter of fact, and did you happen to partake and visually see any of the activities that were going on? And if so, what did you see and how did it look to you?
I was out yesterday. I did not get downtown. It looked like a normal day. You can feel the traffic picking up. People coming back. I use Kano Highway on the way to work, and it's been a ghost town for weeks, and the traffic's coming back. And I'm glad for that. I want these businesses to open. I want people's livelihoods to stop being under pressure. People need to get back to work, back to business, and they have families and to take care of. This is a big deal.
I'm noticing too, Sheriff, myself, when I go home after I leave the studios and I go over the big bridge and go north, I'm noticing a big abundance of traffic now going north and south on US 1. Even earlier in the morning when I come into the studio, I am seeing the traffic is a little bit more thick now also as well.
Yeah, people are coming. We're coming back online as a community. The mall opened.
Oh, the mall, the
yesterday.
Treasure Coast Mall did open.
It did open.
Okay, see, nothing was last that I had read in the papers. They were looking for a comment from the mall if they were going to open, and this was on Sunday, and there still wasn't any official word.
Oh yeah, Simon Mall said yesterday. I think they were opening 54 new locations nationwide. So ours was one of them, thankfully.
Sheriff, let me ask you another question in regards to the malls too. I'm assuming that pretty much everything is still status quo, 6 feet social distancing. Are all the stores open in the mall, or not all the stores have not reopened?
Well, besides not being a beach goer, I'm not a mall goer. So,
okay, all right.
Yeah, I wasn't there yesterday, so I can't answer that question.
Okay.
But the same thing will apply. If people look, this disease is still out there. People are still going to get sick. If you can just stay away from others, walk 6 feet. If you can wear a mask, find the right color, Bonnie, you should go out with a mask. And we'll continue getting through this.
One thing I do like that I did notice, Sheriff, and I saw this online in some of the news articles, a lot of the restaurants did not take advantage of opening yesterday because, the governor came down with the order just a few days ago, and the restaurants felt that they did not have enough time to properly prepare with their employees and educating, and they're taking a few extra days so when they do open, they'll be fully ready.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. And of course, you got to find your employees. Some of these people that work in restaurants are, struggle maybe from paycheck to paycheck, and there's not oftentimes other jobs. So it's not like turning a switch. I think that only the business owner can talk to that issue, but shutting down maybe was easy, just lock the door and send everyone home. But starting back up again is probably going to be a big deal. They've got to get their orders in,
get
their employees back at the stores. Oh, yeah, my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, and I think in some businesses too, Sheriff, there are going to be some employees who are going to be just wanting, almost begging to go back. And then you might get a few of your employees that, are still kind of like on the inquisitive side, that maybe they feel like it's going back too soon.
Well, just the mechanism of ordering food, the waitress has to stand over you. And she has to be able to hear. I'm not sure how you do a 6 foot space between a patron and a server. It's going to be difficult for everybody.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of interesting to do. How do you bring the food to the table, practicing social distancing? What do they have like? And I don't mean to kid about this, but I mean somebody is probably going to come up with a system where there's a robotic arm that the waitress or waiter carries, and it extends the food out on a tray, and you take the food off of the tray, because I'm still a little leery of going to a restaurant and having the food runner handle the plate and put it on my table. I'm not ready to go there yet.
I think everybody's going to have a certain tolerance level. I'm going to suspect that most restaurants will ask their servers to wear masks, so at least that server would not pass the virus if they had it and didn't know it.
Right.
And the patron has to take the mask off to eat. So.
Oh, of course. That's another thing too. If the patrons are wearing masks, how do they consume their food in the restaurant?
This whole thing is going to take some adjusting, and it's like water seeking its own level. We'll figure it out.
Sheriff Snyder, thank you so much for joining us this morning. God bless you and the entire your personal family and the extended family of law enforcement officers at the Martin County Sheriff's Office. May God bless each and every one of you guys.
Same to you, Bonnie and Evan. Take care.
Thank you,
Sheriff.
What a great interview. Always love having the sheriff on. He gives us an update as far as from the law enforcement side. And tomorrow we'll talk to Taryn Krizda and get an update on what's happening on the county side of things. 8:21 right now. on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
And good morning. Day one of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books.
We are now in phase one in the state of Florida, other than our three southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 1,399 after another 20 deaths were reported yesterday. The Department of Health says there are nearly 37,000 cases statewide. Well, it's a promising start of the week for some businesses on the Treasure Coast, many slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again. Has everybody ordered? Yes. Yeah.
And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
Real good pace.
When other restaurants offered takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you'll also notice less staff because under Phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website. And yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Well, the city of Fort Pierce announced Monday that it will be offering free drive-through testing for 5 days. The free testing will be offered by appointment only from May 11th through May 15 at Elu Ellis Park. That's located at 1211 Avenue M. The city said that during the 5 days, a total of 1,200 individuals will be tested for COVID-19 or the presence of antibodies, and residents interested in being tested must complete a pre-screening survey. Those without internet access too can call 1-888-519-9192 and press 1 for testing. The call center will be open today through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Legendary, that is, quarterback Peyton Manning hasn't played a down in football in 4 years, which has many people across the sports landscape wondering what his next move will be. There were some rumors of Manning taking a job in the broadcast booth, and there were others that said he's looking to take a front office role in an organization. Well, the New York Post reported that Manning recently turned down a lucrative offer from ESPN to become a color commentator on Monday Night Football. So maybe he has plans of doing something else in the future. We shall see. News time is 8:25, and weather and traffic together are next.
8:26 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
It's a nice morning and the traffic looks clear right now. This includes 95. This includes the Turnpike. Everything good north and southbound. There's your latest look in traffic. Nice sunny morning too, 70 in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It is a mild to warm morning here on the Treasure Coast with a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:30 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for our daily dose of space in another place where Randy Siegel is a couple of hundred miles above the face of the earth with his space report. Good morning, Randy. How are you, sir?
Good morning from up here. I'm doing good. Hope yourself and Bonnie are doing well.
For sure.
Good. Well, in 1961, the United States entered the human spaceflight program. Yep. Shortly after Yuri Gagarin went into space in April, on this date in history, Alan Shepard became the first American to go into space on board his space capsule Freedom 7. However, he didn't go into orbit. His was a suborbital flight on a Mercury Redstone rocket. And he splashed down near the Bahamas after a short suborbital flight and was picked up by the USS Lake Champlain in a highly successful mission for the United States. So we got egg on our face when the Russians put people into orbit first, but we recovered some of that egg by the successful launch of Alan Shepard. The International Space Station continues to be a hotbed of work. The Cygnus space freighter from Northrop Grumman will complete its mission attached to the Unity module on Monday the 11th. And the Cygnus serves a dual purpose because after its departure It will take out the trash from the space station, and it will deploy a set of CubeSats for a variety of space research. Commander Chris Cassidy is setting up a small satellite deployer called the Slingshot that will be installed on the hatch of Cygnus before its departure. The tiny satellites will test space communication technologies and advanced GPS mapping techniques. Cassidy then joined Roscosmos flight engineers Anatoly Ivanushin and Ivan Wagner for an emergency drill after lunchtime. The trio practiced CPR techniques necessary in microgravity. The crewmates also reviewed medical hardware, communication, and coordination in the event of a medical emergency aboard the orbiting lab. Ivanushin started photographing the interior of the station's Russian segments to document spaces that could support new research gear and areas that may require repairs. Wagner explored ways to prevent science experiments or degrading space station hardware from potentially contaminating the cabin atmosphere. You've got to remember, it is a closed environment, and anything that could be combustible or could set off gases could affect the crew on board the station. Well, we're getting close to America flying its own astronauts to the International Space Station. As a result of that, in a few days, they will start the first phase of medical quarantine, 3 weeks prior to the May 27th launch to take place. So Bob Bacon and Doug Hurley have been doing a lot of practicing, and now they'll be getting ready to go into quarantine for that launch that is not too far away. Well, China did it. China launched this morning at 6 o'clock the Long March 5B rocket. On top of that rocket, a prototype space capsule that will carry humans in the not-too-distant future. China's space capsule will be capable of carrying up to 6 passengers to Earth orbit or 3 passengers to the moon. It was the first time that China has shown the capability of putting a spacecraft this size for manned vehicles into orbit. China has been very successful in many of its endeavors of late by putting into space the vehicles that are going to the moon and landed on the far side of the moon and continue to bring back good data. So it's now a small task that China is showing their ability to fly. This particular unmanned vehicle will remain in orbit for about 3 days and then return home. It may be using a new technique to land where the heat shield is inflatable, something the U.S. worked on many, many years ago. Well, China may be putting it into action, and we'll find out shortly whether or not it works or not. There's a whole lot of debris in orbit. According to the Orbital Debris Quarterly News, there's over 20,437 objects that are in orbit. That's 485 objects more than there were 3 months ago. And with all of this clogging up in space, the United States stands in first place, thanks to increasing the number of Starlink satellites that are up there. Russia is in second place, followed by China, and then followed by France, Japan, India, the European Space Agency, and a combination of all other countries. So a lot of space junk and a lot of things flying around up there. Well, the launch of the next Starlink mission to put 60 new Starlink satellites had been scheduled for May 7th. However, it has now been put on hold. We don't know the reason behind it. It could be because they want to add sun shields, but they certainly will not be launching on May the 7th as originally intended. Virgin Orbit has been testing out its Cosmic Girl 747 spacecraft at the Mojave Air and Spaceport. Underneath the wing is the Launcher 1 rocket, which would drop from the vehicle, ignite, and place a small satellite into orbit. This was done several years ago, and now that Virgin Orbit owns the vehicle, they intend to fly it and launch satellites. A demonstration performance was done on April the 12th that showed that they have the wherewithal and the ability to do exactly what they would like to do into space. NASA is evaluating suggestions from several companies about a 3-human lunar lander. SpaceX has come up with a design that NASA really likes. The problem is they feel it's very risky. By reviewing other companies, they noted that SpaceX got an acceptable. Blue Origins got a technical rating of acceptable and a managerial rating of very good, while Dianetics received technical and managerial ratings of very good. So SpaceX received several strengths based on its proposed capability of the Starship vehicle that it bid. Starship is a large vehicle that would launch from Boca Chica, Texas, and place a payload into orbit and then go on to the moon. It's a type of vehicle that SpaceX will be using its new Raptor engine on, and that Raptor engine has been undergoing tests in Texas, some successfully and some not quite successfully. Russia announced that they will launch their first Arctica M satellite for monitoring the Arctic climate and environment at the end of the year. They say that the spacecraft is currently under development, but they intend to launch it around the 9th of December using a Soyuz 21B rocket with a Fregat booster. Many companies are trying to produce spacecrafts that would place small satellites into orbit. Rocket Lab's CEO, Peter Beck, told CNBC that it's only in the early stages of a crisis for an industry that saw a boom over the past decade. He remains hopeful that some creative and well-funded companies may continue pushing forward, but he warned it's going to be really a challenging time. Tomorrow, we're going to tell you about Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser and one of the experiments that Anatoly Ivanushin says is really cool. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with a daily dose of space in another place, giving you all things NASA as we do each and every weekday, Monday through Friday at 8:30 right here on the program. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by on the front porch with the latest and greatest of what is good today, where everything is actually all good, right?
Everything is so incredible here, Evan. And Mark, Chef Mark, is so happy to announce, they're back open. They're excited to be serving and feeding people in-house again. And, everything is pressure cleaned. They have new tables, fresh paint, and 2 sanitizing stations, that is, for all of your safety and comfort to come on out and enjoy your food. Help that craving. Get your signature salads at Ellie's Deli today. Get fresh jumbo wraps homemade soup to enjoy, side items too. And Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart is open with that full menu too for pickup or delivery. Ellie's is also making dinners with a full menu available for any number of guests you may have. Give them a call at 772-781-6605 to order or pick up. And remember, they also have their fabulous desserts. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, downtown Stewart, just off Colorado. Call them at 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
Right now, it's time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold will be opening up at $1,698.20 an ounce, and silver will be opening up at $14.84 an ounce. 8:42 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And day one of Florida's gradual reopening is in the books.
We are now in phase one in the state of Florida, other than our three southeastern Florida counties that have had to deal with a little bit more significant epidemic.
Governor Ron DeSantis called this a measured step in the process of fighting the coronavirus pandemic. He also reinforced the importance of protecting senior citizens and those with underlying health conditions, both vulnerable populations. It's a promising start of the week for some businesses here on the Treasure Coast. Many are slowly rebounding as restaurants and stores can start inviting customers back inside in accordance with Florida's Phase 1 plan. While some workers are getting back on the payroll, others might need to look at other careers to make ends meet. WPTV's Arthur Mondale has more.
People need to get back to start making money again. Has everybody ordered? Yes.
Yeah. And these are the first patrons to return to Manatee Island Bar and Grill in Fort Pierce to make sure that happens.
Real good pace.
When other restaurants offered takeout and curbside service in mid-March, Manatee Island Bar and Grill completely closed its doors.
They wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And that's why they chose to close instead of staying open for takeout.
Managers say even now the payroll and safety of their 65 employees is a balancing act.
We want to stay open and not to be the cause to close.
At this restaurant, tables are set 8 to 10 feet apart, more than the required 6. But you'll also notice less staff because under Phase 1, dining capacity can only be at 25%.
Even with the 25%, we will take probably 75% of our staff back.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
That's the message for those who aren't getting back to work just yet.
Look at those hot jobs because we are in tune to those in-demand jobs.
Hot jobs, which are posted on the Career Sources website, are in-demand sectors that statistically thrive regardless of pandemics or natural disasters.
Do the career exploration. Think of where you would want to go.
And Career Source Research Co. says there's another category of jobs, the quote, in response to what we're currently going through right now category of jobs. We have that link on our website. And yes, it's updated daily. In Fort Pierce, Arthur Mondale, WPTV, News Channel 5.
St. Lucie County Community Services is offering COVID-19 emergency assistance for the cost of housing. The help is available to those in unincorporated St. Lucie County who meet certain income requirements. Financial assistance is being offered for rent and mortgage payments. Find out more on mortgage and rental assistance. Log on to stluciecounty.gov or call the public information line at 772-460-HELP. That's 772-460-4357. It's open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And lastly, sloppy applications for unemployment are one reason the state's computer system has been overwhelmed.
Sometimes people don't give us an email address, or perhaps we have a wrong phone number. With the volume of applications that we've received, we're going to have a few errors. And it's more than a few, it's thousands of errors where we've got to go back and do some cleanup.
Department of Management Services Secretary Jonathan Satter says they continue to work to clear up the backlog. An effort is underway to get to the bottom of a problem that has left thousands of jobless residents frustrated. Governor DeSantis announced yesterday he's calling for an investigation of the Connect reemployment system. The NFL will release its regular season schedule on Thursday night. Monday's announcement is the latest example of the league conducting business mostly as usual amid the coronavirus pandemic. The schedule will be revealed in a 3-hour telecast on NFL Network starting at 8 p.m. on Thursday. News time is 8:46, and weather and traffic together coming up.
$8:48 right now, the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Reefers. Bonnie?
And it's been looking good, too, out on the roads all morning and still remaining that way. We're not looking at any slowdowns or accidents to report right now. Your latest look at traffic. And sunshine, we're already up to 76 in Stewart, 75 Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
It is a mild to warm morning here on the Treasure Coast with a little patchy fog possible this afternoon. Mostly sunny and hot with high temperatures around 90 degrees. We're going to be very close to some record highs this afternoon. Light southeasterly winds and only a slim chance for some pop-up afternoon rainfall. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
$8:51 the time on the Get Up and Go show. And without further ado, it is now time for the world infamous Phil's Top 10 from Phil's notebook and his YouTube channel. Take it away, Phil.
Good morning. And from the home office of Yeehaw Junction, Florida, top 10 signs you're at a bad Cinco de Mayo party.
Oh,
Top 10 signs you're at a bad Cinco de Mayo party. As we all know, today is Cinco de Mayo, and there's going to be some parties, I'm sure, tonight. So here's your top 10 signs you're at a bad Cinco de Mayo party. Number 10, instead of a sound system, they rigged up a 130 decimal ocean liner horn.
okay. That'll hurt for sure.
Yeah, right. Number 9, the only guest at the party is Jose Cuervo and Juan Valdez.
Those are the only two guests at the party.
Yes.
And their names again?
Jose Cuervo and Juan Valdez.
Okay.
Well, if they really like to party up, it might be a good party.
Yeah, right. Number 8, prison regulations require lights out by 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Number 7, you've had 8 shots of Jose Cuervo and you haven't gotten a hit on Jennifer Lopez yet.
Oh, okay.
Number 6, theme of the party, come as your favorite ICE agent.
I like that. Okay.
Number 5, off-brand of tequila that comes in a resealable plastic bag.
Interesting.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Yeah, please do.
Number 4, GPS refuses to take you to Margaritaville.
Okay.
The GPS doesn't even want to go there, Phil.
Yeah.
Number 3, charcoal tip. You can substitute tequila for lighter fluid, but not the other way around.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one to remember for your charcoal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 2, cops appear at the door in response to complaints from people actually at the party.
Okay.
That's a bad party.
Yeah.
And number 1, mixing drinks through an AARP magazine funnel.
Hey,
and there's
wait a
your
minute.
top 10 list.
Mixing
I love
drinks through an ARP magazine funnel.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Wow.
keep putting a little bit of jabs and stabs at Evan there, too, with your
Wow.
humor. Kind of liking it.
Okay.
You're digging this, huh?
All right. That's
Hey,
all
we've
right.
all taken hits on the top 10. For some reason, the home office likes to take jabs at us here.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You're going to get yours.
Yeah.
You're going to get yours.
Well, now you know what to do with the charcoal tonight, Bonnie.
Yeah, there
All
you
right.
go. Yeah.
Right.
Get
Yeah,
your
just
charcoal.
be careful with that.
Thank-
You know.
No tequila. Okay.
Thank goodness I got the Kingsford action going on.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So it's time to play a segment that we very much love, and we do this each and every Tuesday. It's time for Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? So the way the game works, I'll ask a question. If you get it right, you proceed to the next question, and so on and so forth. You have a total of 5 points that you can possibly get total maximum. You get control and keep control with every question that you get correctly. This time we're going to start with you, Bonnie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Question number 1. What were the first words Charlotte wrote in her web to save Wilbur's life? Is it A, help me, B, free Wilbur, or C, some pig?
See some pig.
C, some pig is correct. All right, very
Yay.
good. Bonnie keeps control. Question number 2 for Bonnie. How many degrees of latitude are between the equator and each pole? Is it A, 90, B, 180, or C, 360?
I'm going to say C, 360, Evan.
Incorrect. Phil, you have a chance to gain control and get a point.
What were the choices again, please?
It was A, 90, B, 180, or C, 360.
90 degrees.
Correct. Phil gains control. The game is tied 1 apiece.
It is.
Okay. Question number 3. This is for you, Phil. We
Yes.
breathe in oxygen. What do we mostly exhale? Is it A, carbon dioxide, B, hydrogen, C, carbon dioxide, or D, bad breath?
I'm going to say carbon dioxide and bad breath.
Okay. Incorrect, Phil. It was not C and D. Bonnie, you have a chance to get control.
I think it was the carbon dioxide only.
Correct. Very good. Bonnie
I went
gains
for the
control.
joke.
That's all right. Well, the joke didn't pay off. Sorry.
What else is new?
Okay. So, Bonnie, you are leading the game with 2 points. Phil has 1. Control is back to you. The sentence, her eyes were like sapphires, is A, smile, B, a metaphor, or C, a descriptor?
Be a metaphor.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Phil, the sentence, her eyes were like sapphires, is A, a smile, B, a metaphor, or C, a descriptor?
C.
Incorrect. The answer is A, smile. Nobody gets any points, okay? Bonnie, you still have control. If you get this right, you win the game. If not, Phil can tie the game, and then we have a tiebreaker.
Sudden death.
Okay?
Yes.
Here we go. How many centimeters are in 10 meters? Is it A, 100, B, 1,000, or C, 10,000?
Has to be C, 10,000.
C, 10,000? Incorrect.
Come on now. Those centimeters are awfully small.
Okay. Phil,
Yes.
you can tie the game. How many centimeters are in 10 meters? A, 100, B, 1,000, or C, 10,000?
Did you say 1,000?
I said A, 100, B,
Yes.
1,000, or C, 10,000.
B, 1,000.
Correct. So that
I just
means
learned that from my daughter
we
last week.
have a tie score, but we're out of time. So this game winds up in a tie. Nobody wins. So there you go.
Well, alrighty then.
Do I get lovely parting gifts?
Parting gifts are charcoal, tequila, and an ARP subscription.
And a bathrobe and a cigar to
Yes,
go out
to go with it.
and light your fire.
That's a wrap for the Get Up and Go show, folks. We will see you tomorrow on the Wednesday edition, where the Martin County Administrator Taryn Christ is going to join us. That's a wrap for us. Phil, thank you so much for joining us. Say goodnight, Phil.
Good night, Phil.
Phil is out of here. Bonnie Chow Mein.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty, and in the words of Ellen DeGeneres.
Be kind to one another.
Folks, we'll see you tomorrow morning right here on the Get Up and Go show on WSU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Bye-bye for now.